To cut this attachment between the ego and its possessions or what it owns. To be something who owns nothing. You can actually have things, they come into your life, you can enjoy them, but you don't own them. You don't possess them, you don't control them. You can see the beauty of that, because if you have something which you really possess, it's a delusion, because nature possesses these things. Your car, you don't possess the car, nature possesses it. When it crashes, you don't own it anymore, except you own just a bunch of metal. And one of the disciples, his only possession, or his main possession which he had, was a Harley Davidson motorcycle, which was, I think, worth about $40,000-$50,000. Those motorbikes can be very, very expensive, and that was all his assets were in his motorbike. He told me once he parked it in one of these shopping malls, and he went to do some shopping. When he went back, it had gone. Someone had stolen it. And that was all he had in life, $40,000-$50,000 motorbike. And he said he was very impressed with himself, because he'd been coming here long enough. He said, oh, well, it's not mine anyway. It just comes and goes, these things. I can live without it. Even though it's a loss, but, never mind. And he actually let it go. He realised he did not own these things. And he was so proud of himself. It was only then he realised, he noticed he was actually on the wrong floor of the car park. And he went down, there was his bike. And so he was a double winner. But the thing was, a great test of him. So, he was very, very happy. Number one, that he sort of learned how to let go. Number two, he sold his motorbike. But there's a little test for you, because when we don't own anything, we don't define ourselves by our possessions. So it's much easier to be free that way. So please, whenever you come into this path of Buddhism, please don't get into any spiritual materialism and just define yourself by how much Buddhism you know, how many meditation retreats you've been to, or just argue with other people about your understanding of Dhamma, the Buddhist teachings, and who knows the most, and who's been at the Buddhist society longest, and who's the cleverest meditator, and who's the most enlightened, and who can sit for meditation for the longest period of time. Sometimes people get into that, on these retreats. They see if they can beat their record of sitting down still, half an hour. Yeah, I did that years ago. 45 minutes I'm up to now. That's nothing, an hour. I can sit for 2 hours. That's nothing. I can do 5 hours. As if you're going to get into the Guinness Book of Records. But I remember my teacher used to say, if it really depended on how long you sat still for, if that was really a measure of enlightenment, then all the chickens in the world will be enlightened now, because they sit still for hours on their eggs without moving at all.